So you're ready to take the next step in your career, but sometimes you feel like every time you send out your resume, it seems to fall into a black hole. Well, if that sounds familiar, stick with me. Stick with me till the end, because today we're going to explore how to create a leadership resume that stands out and gets you interviews. Grab your pen, grab your piece of paper, and get ready to take some notes, because we're going to get started right now. Hey there, Dr. Gordon Amerson here, Superintendent of Schools and Gallup Certified Strengths Coach. And on this channel, we leverage my experience from classroom teacher all the way to the office of school district superintendent to help you go further faster in your educational journey as well as your leadership development. If this is your first time with us, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And while you're here, don't forget, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you don't miss any cool updates or any of our latest episodes or content. All right, welcome in. And I know that on this channel, we are going to help you as educators find your passion, grow yourselves, grow your careers, and grow your leadership impact. And so in today's episode, we really want to explore the impactful components of the resume, because getting your resume right is critically important to unlocking the opportunity to sit before a principal, sit before an interview panel, sit before a district leader, and be able to have that opportunity to put your best foot forward. But first, that starts with being able to showcase who you are on that piece of paper, which is the resume. So again, in today's episode, we're going to explore 5 key components to the resume, but we're also going to give you what we want to be an impactful leadership strategy that you can use as a part of your resume development, as a part of being able to showcase who you are and get you in that interview room. So without further ado, let's start with component number 1 of the leadership resume. So as we dive into strategy number 1, I want you thinking about how you make sure that your resume gets you noticed for your next role, your next leadership role, your next opportunity. So the very first thing you want to start with is having a clear and engaging professional summary. This is that headline. This is at the top of that resume that is going to grab somebody's attention right away. And when you think about this is 3 to 4 lines of text that are really going to showcase and highlight who you are, your leadership style, what you believe in, what your principles, your values are. But you want it to be concise. You want it to be impactful. You want it to be powerful. But that engaging professional summary is going to kick your resume off and put you in a really good space with the person who's reviewing and screening the applications. So if you want an example of something you could say, just to get you kind of started, this is a bit of a template. You could say something like this. You can say that I'm a dynamic educational leader with over 10 years of experience in curriculum development and team leadership. I've successfully implemented district-wide initiatives that increase student achievement by 15%. I'm committed to fostering innovative, inclusive learning environments. So as an example, short, concise, jam-packed with things that are important and relevant about you. That's the model for this very, very clear and engaging professional summary. And I want to stress, keep it clear and keep it specific. Avoid using generic statements like I'm a hardworking professional who's seeking a challenge. No, be more detailed, be more specific. You want to bring out all of the details, all of the context, all of the nuance. And you want to be really strategic about how you do that, right? So go above and beyond as you're laying out these 3 to 4 sentences, because it's going to be the first thing that's going to catch people's eyes as they start to review your resume. So a clear and engaging professional summary is the very first component of a leadership resume that's going to stand out. Hey, let me interrupt today's episode just really quickly to tell you about today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is principalleader.com. Go to principalleader.com for all things educational leadership. If you want blogs, resources, newsletters, courses that can help you go further faster in your educational journey, go to principalleader.com. And now back to the episode. All right, let's move to component number 2 of a high quality leadership resume. And component number 2 is quantifiable achievements. As employers, we want to see results. So don't just list responsibilities. We got to go deeper than that. Focus on what you've accomplished. For example, here are 2 quantifiable achievements. 1, increase teacher retention rates by 20% through mentorship programs. And also raise school reading scores by 10% through targeted interventions. Remember, when we're talking about quantifiable achievements, numbers tell powerful stories. We can use numbers to really amplify and highlight the good work that we're doing. So as leaders, we want to lead with numbers. We want to lead with data because data shows results. And that's what employers really want to see. Show that not only are you a leader, but you're also an impactful leader who can move the organization in a very, very quantifiable way. And highlighting that on your resume is going to be a really important component. So component number 2, quantifiable achievements. All right, let's talk about component number 3 of a high quality leadership resume. And that third section is all about tailored leadership skills. Now, this is important because this is where we start to align who you are with what the job is asking for, right? And making sure that we leverage your unique skills and your unique talents, and we line that up to the actual job. And so when we think about it, we want your skills to reflect what job you're actually applying for. That's important because as employers, we're always looking for the right fit, right? Seeing somebody on paper and then seeing somebody in the interview room, we're always looking for fit. We're thinking about the department. We're thinking about the school site. We're thinking about the staff. We're thinking about the community. We're thinking about all these different components, and we're looking for the right fit. So your tailored skills are going to be able to start to connect those pieces and connect those dots for us. Like, what types of opportunities do you have to be a strategic thinker if that's what the job calls for? And then how do you highlight those strategic thinking skills and capacities and those different strategic thinking experiences that you've had, right? If it's about team building, how do you showcase your ability to lead a team and effectively manage different personalities and different components of a large or a small team? But highlighting those skills. And then lastly, looking at what your skill sets are and taking an honest appraisal of who you are and what you do, and then aligning that with the job description. The job description is a roadmap. When a district or a school site or an organization gives you a job description, you want to lay that job description down. You want to look at each one of those bullet points, and you want to think about what are the skills, the talents, the attributes that I have that I can immediately kind of lay out next to each of these bullets, where I've done this and I've done this and I've had these experiences. But laying that out with the job description is going to be a really important piece of figuring out how to create those alignments. All right. So component number 3 of a high quality leadership resume is being able to tailor your leadership skills into a specific section that aligns with the job that you're applying for. All right, let's move to component number 4 of a high quality leadership resume. But before we do, I want you to go to the pinned comments below the video because I have a free gift, a free opportunity for you. And it is a tool that is going to help you because once you've created this resume, it's going to get you a bunch of interviews. And so I want to give you this free guide as a way to build your preparedness for your next interview. So go to the pinned comments below and then download that free guide, which is it's going to help you prepare for your next interview. So once you've got your resume all polished up and it's all ready to go and you sent that off and those interview calls start to come, this is going to guide and help you as you move forward. So go to the pinned comments below and let's move to component number 4 of a high quality leadership resume. All right, let's go to component number 4 of a high quality leadership resume. And that section is all about continuous learning and evidence of continuous learning. We as employers, we value this concept of being lifelong learners, especially in education, right? We're always wanting to stay up to date. We're always wanting to stay ahead of the curve. We always want to continually be trying to improve and get better and learn more to support our students, to support our staff, to support our school community, to support our parents, etc. And so showing that evidence of continuous learning is going to be really important, and highlighting that on the resume is a great strategy, right? We want to show how we're always continually growing as an individual, as a leader, as a professional. So look at ways to highlight professional development that you've done. What types of certifications have you gotten? What types of workshops or advanced degrees have you completed? Right? It shows when you highlight these areas, it shows that you're vested in the continuous growth of yourself to grow and build your capacity, and that you're always looking for and willing to explore new and fresh ideas, right? Because we're constantly looking for ways to enhance and improve our environments, especially as leaders. It's a core tenet of leadership. It's getting better so that way we can do better for others. So I always want to get better so I can do better for other folks. Well, part of that is the continuous learning journey, right? So don't forget to highlight the opportunities for growth, development, certifications, and different things that you've had exposure to that highlight your commitment to being a lifelong learner. That is going to showcase who you are on your resume. And that is component number 4. All right, now let's move into component number 5 of a high quality resume, and that is having a compelling and customized design. Now, presentation does matter. We do want to see a very professionally thought out, a very professionally done resume, but we want it to remain professional. When we're looking for leadership opportunities, we're applying for professional roles, then we want to present professional documents. Right. So continue to look at using clean professional formats and fonts. This should go without saying, but I think it's important to stress. I've seen hundreds, thousands of applications and resumes, and the types of presentations vary. And what I will tell you is think professional, think elegant, and think, what is it that I want to present about myself? What do I want them to remember about me? Do I want them to remember the font, or do I want them to remember the content? Right? So highlight professional. Make sure it's easy to read, right? Make sure that you are not afraid to show a little bit of personality, because it is important to highlight that, but do it in a very, very professional way. And always, always, always find ways to be subtly creative, but also have a big impact. And that is with what you choose to highlight and showcase as a part of your resume. You've got a story to tell, so find ways to tell it with your resume paper, and find ways to do it in such a way that's a professionally presented way that captivates us as readers, and it draws us in where we want to know more about you, not just what we see on paper, but we want to know more about you by then being able to see you in person. Right? So that's what we want your resume to do. So think about having a compelling and customized design that showcases your professional portfolio, your professional appearance, your professional presentation on a piece of paper. That's your goal for strategy, or that is your goal for component number 5. So those are 5 key components of an effective leadership resume. And it's really, really critical that you start with that. But I want to give you a little bit more. I want to give you the opportunity to stand out even more. So I want to give you a bonus strategy or a bonus tip. And I think this is a game-changing opportunity if you really think about ways to incorporate this into your resume and into your storytelling that becomes a part of your resume. And that strategy is telling your story. Tell your story through key leadership moments. So instead of just listing duties, if you will, spotlight 3 to 4 accomplishments that have defined your career. So what are those 3 or 4 moments that just have defined your career? Think about a challenge that you faced. Think about specific actions that you took. And then the measurable results that came as a result of your choices, your decisions, your actions, right? So for example, when I became principal, student attendance was at 85%. I implemented family engagement programs, partnered with local organizations to remove barriers to attendance, and within 2 years, we raised attendance to 94%. That's the kind of impact that I bring. That's an example of not just taking a series of experience and bullets, but weaving those experiences into a powerful story that then again typifies what your leadership is, who you are as a leader, what types of results that you're going to get, and why you're going to be beneficial to the organization and why they should want you to be a part of the organization. So that's a strategy. Take those highlights, weave them into a story, tell that story. Now, there's 2 options. You can tell that story on a piece of paper potentially. Maybe you put that in your cover letter. And we haven't talked about cover letters per se, but you could put that in your cover letter. You could find a way to weave that into your resume, and also strategically, you could find a way to weave that story into the actual interview. And we talk about all different types of opportunities to use and leverage stories in this episode. You can check out the episode in the card above. But this will give you some examples of how to use stories effectively and use this framework in particular for that. So there you have it. 5 components of an effective leadership resume and 1 game-changing strategy that will leave you a cut above the rest of all your competitors when you apply for your next job. So before we go, I want to hear from you. So let me know, what's one challenge that you've overcome as a leader that would make a great addition on your resume? Drop that in the comments below. All right. And don't forget to go to the pinned comments below as well for the free gift. And also don't forget to check the description below for information on our newsletters, on mentoring and coaching, as well as all of the information that we can provide to continue to provide support to you. And then if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for your support. And while you're here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend. Matter of fact, share it with 10 friends. We're going to continue to add value and give as much support to our community as possible. And so until we see you on our next episode, I want you to take care of yourself, take care of each other, and be well. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you very soon.